Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today we're going to take a look at the 6 new characters. Now that we have them unlocked, now that we have them in skill preview, we can have a much better judge and much better view of if they're good characters or not, and whether or not you should invest in them. That's the title of today's video. That's what we're going to be looking at, guys, because that's the question I see popping up the most recently. How should I spend my tier 2 ticket? How should I spend my mega rank up ticket? Yo, bro, which one of the 6 new characters is the most bomb ass motherfucker? So we're gonna find out who's the most BAMF. And here we go. Yes, I did use my mega rank up ticket on Gwenpool, and I will tell you guys why in a minute. Here we go. So we're gonna look at all her skills, and then we're gonna judge whether or not she's good or not. But first of all, I have to say that skip, hop, and jump is fucking hilarious. Like, that's just awesome. I think that's great that they did that, and that bodes really well for a future and hopefully eventual Deadpool character. Definitely will love to see how he animates in even the most mundane of tasks like walking around. And makes me wonder why Thanos doesn't have a cooler walk. Hashtag 6-star Thanos. Hashtag scumbag. Hashtag debris boy. Here we go. Turning the AI on so that we can show iframes. Her 1st-star skill has no iframes. But I will say something about her 1st-star skill and her 6th-star skill. But we'll get to that a little bit later. Just check on the animation. It's got a spin at the end, and that's going to be important later. But no iframe on the 1st-star skill, on the 1-star skill. 2-star skill. Also no animation, but very small. It seems like a very small quasi-iframe there at the end. It'll be very hard to hit her when she jumps up. Something like some of Sharog's attacks. Not really an iframe, but kind of an iframe. 3-star skill is definitely an iframe. You can see that they clearly pause there while she like gets out the bombs from her bag. So we'll see it again here. That's a very obvious pause. You can see that the clones that I lined up there on the left are holstering their guns. One more time. Okay, we saw there on the top there. Let's try it again. The targeting is kind of difficult to get down. Here we go. You can see them. Their guns go away. Their guns come out. Definite iframe, just a little bit difficult to time it because it doesn't happen right away. 5-star skill. Yeah, it's got a long iframe at the end there, but the beginning, as you can see, has a long windup where she is not an iframe, so it could be difficult to trigger this effectively, but it has a lot of movement, so it'll probably be really hard to hit her anyways. And then also, guys, keep in mind that anytime she has an iframe, it's really, really good for her character because it's time that she's going to be able to heal for free. You know, she'll still be DPSing at this point, but if she's not being hit, that's like a second right there. So that's really, really good synergy for her heal. And I just want to say, guys, yes, my math is really bad. 1% of 20,000 is not 2,000, it's 200. All right, shout out to the hundreds. And then her 6-star skill, it seems to have a very long iframe. All of the guys stop attacking as soon as she starts dancing around. Some of them, as you can see, are stunned, but some of them are not. But all of them stop attacking as soon as she goes into this iframe. Really long iframe. Crazy. I have to say, crazy. So really good stuff from Gwenpool. I would say that her kit is very, very strong. The reason why I wanted to go back to the 1-star skill, sorry, the 6-star skill does not have a spin, but the 1-star skill does. And while this doesn't have an iframe, I do think it's really good because in a lot of situations you're one-on-one against the Frost Beast, against you know, Thanos and his big balls, or another world boss. And so by spinning around, let's say Thanos is about to do his like laser bitch attack, you just around him and you could probably safely dodge those attacks. Same thing with Supergiant's big black ball that she summons. And stuff like that. So that did get me thinking. It's a very unique kind of movement skill where she spins in a circle in relation to her target. Okay, so that's a really interesting thing to note as well, guys. So overall, I'm really high on Gwenpool's kit. I think it's really, really strong. Also, guys, she is not available outside of shifter bios, so she is not usable for any of the bio selectors, even the daily selectors that you get for free. Her bios are only available if you don't use a mega ticket or a ticket on her. Her bios are only available as a shifter in the special missions or from the 20 bios per month subscription. So she's like a quasi paywall character, and that is the reason why I 6-starred her, guys. I think she's probably going to be one of the strongest characters from this list. She also seems to have a lot of moves that have AoE damage, which is really useful for speed characters. Not a lot of speed characters do AoE. She'll be very useful for alliance battle and any game mode or boss that has a lot of summons and a lot of trash mobs. So I'm really high on Gwenpool. And of course she's got the heal and the iframes, which is good. Alright, here we go. The girl with the nuts in her mouth. First skill, long ass iframe. She basically does 3 Mario jumps on these motherfucking Koopa Troopas, and she stuns them. Huge iframe. This is just like guaranteed damage. That's great. A really great skill. Second star attack, or second star skill, also an iframe. You can see visibly that they all stop attacking as soon as she jumps back. Great skill. If you can go into the 1 into the 2, look, these guys are never going to attack. I can just have them locked in here all day. Of course, guys, the cooldown time is not accurate in skill preview, but still. Her first 2 skills have iframes. That's really good, Doreen. 3-star skill, no iframe, but kind of like Gwenpool's, it kind of does a spin, except this one pulls the enemy around. Not as good AoE as some of Gwenpool stuff, but still pretty good. 5-star skill, no iframe, really long animation, not so good. This skill maybe does a lot of damage, but it does leave her super vulnerable to getting hit. And then we have her 6-star skill. So there is definitely a small iframe there. It's not right when you press the skill, but it's a little bit after. Guys, watch it again. It's a little bit after. They stop and then they start up again. So there's a small iframe there. If you see an attack coming, you can time it properly. I can't really comment on the skill of the squirrel, but judging by its cheeks, it can hold pretty big balls in its mouth. So maybe it can hold Thanos' balls in its mouth, or some other maybe Supergiant's balls, equality. So overall, I'm also really pleased with Squirrel Girl's kit. I think it's really, really good. She's got the summon, which is like super premium as a skill, and she's got 2 big iframe moves. So we still have to see what kind of damage those do, but that's really, really good. She's just missing a heal or a shield at this point to be like uber tier. That's who I'm going to be farming actually for the special missions, in case you guys are wondering. I think she's going to be really good as well, and I think she looks kind of cutesy, which is kind of rare for some of the Marvel Future Fight characters, so that's why I'm going with her. Songbird, I'm a little bit surprised about. People are really high on Songbird. I don't really get it. I mean, aside from people who are into the comic books and stuff, I don't understand the appeal of her kit, but we'll go through it now anyways. So her 1-star skill, it seems to have an iframe, but I honestly don't think that it does. It's just like it has some weird interaction with the mobs, because sometimes they start and stop, and sometimes they don't stop attacking. I think it just has to do with the targeting, but this is basically just like some kind of stun attack or some kind. Oh, this is a bind attack. Again, this doesn't work on World Boss, doesn't work on Frost Beast, so temper your expectations. The 2-star skill is really interesting. It's a push. We don't have a lot of skills that kind of manipulate where the enemy moves around too much, so I really, really like this skill. Of course, I have no faith that this will work against world bosses, so unless you see otherwise in a video, this skill's effect takes a big hit, because you're basically just going to hit the boss, but he's right there. He doesn't get stunned, and then they just keep smacking you in the face with their testicles. 3-star skill, again, no iframe. I mean, this is kind of like an iframe, but there's actually no iframe in actuality. So if you're getting hit with an attack, like if it's coming in your general direction, as you guys can see, I'm lined up with these mobs, I'm still getting hit when I jump back. But it is a shield, which is a premium skill to have, so that's good. Her 5-star skill as well, no iframe. It just summons a bunch of like spiky balls. Time for the revenge of the balls, I guess. But yeah, kind of a long animation. Could be a really big DPSer attack, and it seems to have a little bit of an AoE to it because it bounces around, but no iframe there. And then her 6-star skill, no iframe. It's a really long charge up, guys, but hopefully it will do pretty bonkers damage, because otherwise, I mean, I guess it's a safe bet that you could do something like 3 into 6. But I'm not 100% sure. And I'm not sure what these waves are, actually. I don't know if it's her 6-star skill, or her tier 2 passive, or her 6-star skill, or her 4-star passive ability. But I think maybe it's her 6-star skill, because I didn't see this before in my skill preview until I went to the 6-star skill. So I guess this is just like residual damage that it does, which is pretty cool. You can kind of just kite around. It seems like it does 5 blasts. No, 4? Okay, that's an odd number, but yeah, 4 blasts after the fact. That's pretty cool for some residual damage. Not really high on Songbird though, just the shield that is all she has as far as premium skills goes, and no iframes. Here we go, Wiccan, the first half of a glorious duo. His 1-star skill has a very short iframe, and then it has a movement with a long iframe. There's the iframe, and then there's the second iframe. It's good that it has movement as well, kind of like Ebony Maw. I finally got his name right, Mom. But yeah, pretty cool skill. I really love the animation. I love that he looks like he has like stars coming out of his uniform, kind of like Gamora's uniform. I just love that. I think it's amazing. It looks so good. Actually, guys, it doesn't look good. It looks fabulous, if you know what I mean. 2-star skill, big iframe there. Really great skill. This is like, I'm in trouble, fuck, help me. I don't want balls in my face, or do I? No, but really, great iframe skill, really, really good. 3-star skill, no iframe. Don't get confused. This is not an iframe. It's a silence. So that's why they're not attacking. But there's no iframe here, as you guys can see. No weapons get holstered, but very big AOE. And this is the skill that has the pierce and the snare and stuff like that. And so the AOE being so large is really, really good. 5-star skill, guys. Very cool animation. And I believe that's an iframe, but no, I'm not sure. Then again, it could be an iframe. It could just be the way that the skill preview is selecting things. It doesn't really look like an iframe. I'm gonna have to say, you know, soft answer, partial answer, no iframe. But it's kind of hard to tell with these mobs sometimes. This is not the most accurate representation of whether or not he has iframes. Last skill. This is the one I'm super hyped about, guys. Check this shit out. Oh yeah, fucking right. AOE pools, 5 of them. Super stun and mega iframe. Look at that shit. That is awesome. If Wiccan does this attack every time you summon him as a striker, and he's a when hitting striker, he is going to be an amazing striker for World Boss. The damage on this, if you can catch the enemy in like 2 or 3 of the pools, or maybe even Black Dwarf, his fat ass will fit in all 5 of the pools, then this is going to do some massive damage. Look at that, 75, 100 hits, 125 hits. And this is crazy for Alliance Battle. We don't need any more help with Blast Alliance Battle because Shirog is Shirog, but it's still really cool to have another option, and the animation is just so fucking amazing. I'm probably going to farm Wiccan as soon as I'm done with Squirrel Girl because he just looks so badass. Also, equality. Alright, here we go. Hulkling, the other half of the glorious duo. Not so glorious. No offense to this guy, but his skills kind of suck. He doesn't have any iframes, and the skills are long and slow. He's kind of like Crossbones and Hulk, if he were, you know, half of one race and half of another. Anyways, 1-star skill, no iframe there, although he does do a jump up, which perhaps is kind of an iframe for ground-based attacks. The wings are really cool, but other than that, pretty simple attack, nothing much to write home about. 2nd-star attack, no iframes, just a big 2-handed smash. This is kind of like, this reminds me of Hulk and those characters, and it's just like kind of boring. I mean, the animation on his arms are cool, but otherwise the skill is really boring. 3-star skill, really long, and yeah, kind of boring. He just throws some rocks at you, no iframes, kind of sad. 5-star skill, oh yeah, there's an iframe there. So that's a really long iframe, but then they fucked it up. What the hell is that? So sweet iframe into, what am I doing right now? Why am I doing this? Like, this is basically instant death against a world boss. They're not going to get stunned, so this is like their free time to hit you. So you're going to have to do the 5-star skill and then cancel out of it into something else. Probably 1 into 5 if you can manage to do that. Like 1 into 5 and pray you don't get hit. But still, that's lucky. All this stuff, guys, that you're seeing with the damage ignored is tier 2 stuff. So don't worry about that, or don't think about that for tier 1. And then his 6-star skill is just a really long animation. It's got a short, almost iframe there where he jumps up. It probably dodges ground-based attacks, but it might not. Overall, I'm disappointed with Hulkling's skill set. I know combat characters in general don't get a lot of iframes, but I feel like they could have given him something. He doesn't really have much, and he seems to be the weakest of all the characters, sorry to say. Last but not least, we have Black Panther. I mean Chakala. I mean Chitaka. I mean this girl, White Tiger. Here we go. 1-star skill, no iframe, and a lot of movement. The tiger is really cool, or the lion, or the zebra. Some zoologist can correct me. I don't fucking know, man. I'm not a fucking dinosaur. So here we go. Yeah, just 1-star skill, very mundane, no iframes. 2nd-star skill, again, no iframes, shorter than the first one, which is good. Short skills are good because then the DPS is condensed into stronger, more concentrated burst. 3-star skill, here's where we get interesting, guys. So originally people were super high on White Tiger because she has a shield, but look at this shit. She's rooted for the first part of the shield. That's right, guys. I'm going to try to move, and every time I cannot move my joystick until that stupid tiger has gotten out of the frame. So that means if you're getting hit, then what is the shield good for? Like, by the end of it, this shield is probably going to block 1 to 2 attacks. Oh, well, it's not a shield. It's an invulnerability thing. Oh, I actually just realized that. So yeah, sorry, guys. I'm an idiot. But no, that's okay. So it's not a shield, it's actually a 5-second invulnerability, but it still sucks because it's technically a 3.5-second invulnerability, because for the first second and a half you can't actually go anywhere. So it's a lot better than I thought it was, or it's a lot less worse than I thought it was actually, but it's still a little bit disappointing that the character can't move. I hate playing clunky characters and characters who feel like they're immobile. But at least it made for a good highlight where I raged about it on the video, only to correct myself about 10 seconds later. Hashtag 2000. Hashtag 1% of 20,000 is 2000. 6-star skill, no iframes, but it's pretty cool, and it's pretty short, which is really good. So she jumps forward a little bit, and then she does this giant tiger attack. I like it. I don't love it, but it's pretty good, and it probably does some pretty good damage. And it has Pierce, which is really good for multiple mobs. Overall, I would say I'm a little bit higher on White Tiger than Hulkling, but not much more than that. So honestly, guys, my rating for the characters would be number 1, Gwenpool, based on the rarity of her bios and her kit and her healing and stuff like that. Number 2, I would say, is a pretty good toss-up between Wiccan and Squirrel Girl. 3rd place goes to whoever doesn't get those balls in their mouth first. 4th place would probably go to Songbird. 5th place would go to either Hulkling or White Tiger. And 6th place would go to the other one. I don't compete for the bottom, guys, so I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of this ranking. Let me know what you guys think of my thoughts on these characters, and hopefully I've made it easier for you guys and gals to spend your mega rank up tickets and stuff like that. So perhaps you can join me with a badass character who has a hilarious walk, and we can do some co-op. If you liked the video, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.